you could argue that it was, maybe a poor schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court. Yes, but again, she's Alex Eala. That's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some.
The king speaks out. Novak Djokovic calls attention to the WTA controversy surrounding Alex Eala. Welcome back, tennis fans, to Court Vision Media, your top destination for powerful, in-depth, and compelling stories from the world of professional tennis. What we are diving into today goes far beyond a typical sports headline. This is not just an underdog story or a moment of hype. It is a major turning point, a clash between a rising force and a system that may not have been fully prepared for her arrival. And now, one of the greatest players in history, Novak Djokovic, has stepped in with comments that have sparked intense conversation across the tennis world. Let us first take a step back and understand the rise of Alexandra Eala. Just a year ago, she burst onto the global stage at the Miami Open as a wild card, defeating top-tier opponents and reaching a stunning semifinal. That run changed everything. It pushed her into the top 100, opened doors to bigger tournaments, and marked the beginning of a historic stretch for Philippine tennis. Within a single year, she achieved multiple milestones, becoming the first from her nation to accomplish feats that had never been done before. At just 20 years old, her rise has been nothing short of extraordinary. Fast forward to the 2026 season, and Eala returned to Miami not as a surprise name, but as a seeded player carrying expectations. She entered the tournament after a strong showing at Indian Wells, where she reached the round of 16 before falling to Linda Noskova. By then, she had already climbed to a career-high ranking inside the top 30, proving her consistency at the highest level. Her opening match in Miami against Laura Siegemund turned into a grueling 3-hour battle. After losing a tight first set, Eala responded with resilience, adjusting her strategy and powering through the next 2 sets. It was not just a win, it was a statement of endurance and mental strength. During that match, a tense exchange unfolded regarding time delays, where Eala directly addressed the umpire about her opponent's pace between points. In that moment, she showed composure, confidence, and the willingness to stand her ground against a seasoned veteran. Her next challenge came against Magda Linette, who had just pulled off a major upset by defeating Iga Swiatek, one of the most dominant figures in women's tennis. Despite the pressure, Eala delivered a composed and controlled performance, winning in straight sets and advancing further into the draw. Statistically and tactically, it was one of her most complete matches, highlighting her growth as a player. Now, where does Djokovic enter this conversation? Earlier in the year at the Australian Open, he commented on the handling of Eala's matches, particularly the scheduling and court assignments. He pointed out that the overwhelming fan turnout for her matches deserved a bigger stage, suggesting that organizers may have underestimated her growing global appeal. While his words were measured, their impact was significant. When a player of his stature speaks, the tennis world listens. The situation in Melbourne drew attention because of the massive support Eala received, particularly from Filipino fans, many of whom were unable to access her match due to limited court capacity. This raised broader questions about how tournaments allocate visibility and whether rising stars from emerging tennis nations receive the same opportunities as established names. Djokovic's remarks did not accuse, but they highlighted a concern that the sport must adapt to changing dynamics. Tennis is evolving, with new markets, new audiences, and new stars reshaping its global landscape. Eala represents that shift. Her popularity is not manufactured, it is organic, driven by national pride and genuine connection with fans. Meanwhile, Eala herself has remained grounded. In interviews, she has emphasized focus, hard work, and staying anchored in her values. She has acknowledged the pressure but continues to approach her career with clarity and discipline. Her mindset reflects maturity beyond her years, and it shows in her performances. There is also a broader narrative unfolding. Figures like Rafael Nadal, who mentored her at his academy, and Manny Pacquiao, a national icon, have expressed support for her journey. Even outside tennis, personalities like Erik Spoelstra have connected with her, symbolizing the wider cultural impact she is having. As the tournament progresses, Eala faces new challenges, including matchups against experienced opponents like Karolina Muchova. Each round brings higher stakes, especially with ranking points from her previous Miami run on the line. Yet she continues to move forward with confidence, adapting and improving with every match. This story is no longer just about results on a scoreboard. It is about representation, opportunity, and the evolution of a global sport. Eala's journey is opening doors and shifting perspectives, whether the system is ready or not. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think rising stars like Eala are getting fair treatment when it comes to scheduling and exposure? Did Djokovic's comments bring necessary attention to the issue? And how far can Eala go in this Miami run? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let the discussion begin. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to Court Vision Media, and turn on notifications